Hello and welcome to this lecture on electrophilic addition to alkenes. Today we are going to see 5 reactions, namely oxymercuration, demercuration, hydroboration oxidation, epoxidation, ozonolysis and halohydrin formations or addition of HOX. The first reaction, as the name suggests, oxymercuration and demercuration. So, the addition of mercuric acetate water is the oxymercuration step and treatment with borohydride is demercuration step. The regioselectivity of oxymercuration is such that mercury always gets attached to the carbon which is less substituted, and that is the regioselectivity. Borohydride replaces the mercury with H. Second reaction is hydroboration oxidation. Now, this is indirectly it is the addition of water across the double bond in anti-Markovnikov mode. If you take ethylene, add this borane, you get monoalkyl borane, subsequently you will get trialkyl borane, and treatment with H2O2 NaOH will furnish 3 molecules of primary alcohol. Next reaction is epoxidation. Now, epoxidation with 1-propene and MCPBA. MCPBA is nothing but metachloroperbenzoic acid, and that is exclusively give the epoxide. The next reaction is ozonolysis. Now, ozonolysis is oxidative cleavage of alkenes. So, this double bond is cleaved. First of all, 1,3 dipolar cycloaddition, and then this is molozonide. Molozonide rearranges to ozonide. We will see all the mechanisms pertaining to these reactions, and then reductive workup gives aldehyde. Oxidative workup will end up with acid. The last reaction from this set is halohydrin formation or addition of HOX. So, alkene plus bromine water. In situ you will have BrOH, that is bromohydrin, and the BrOX or OH, and then you will have cyclic bromonium ion, and subsequently water attacks and it will open up. If you treat this bromohydrin with base, this also gives an epoxide. So, this is another method to generate the epoxide starting with alkene. So, if you are not having MCPBA, then this is the alternate path for the epoxidation reaction. Now, let us see the mechanism of these reactions one by one. Now, I am going to put the reaction mechanism in the same place so that I do not have to rewrite the things. First of all, mercuric acetate, I can write it in this form. This is mercuric acetate. The pi bond attacks OSC, one of the OSC goes off. So, eventually you will get the formation of then mercury can form the cyclic ion. This is mercury with 3 valency, hence positive charge, and then the water molecule which is there attacks, and you get the formation of this intermediate, which is of course we have to show one more step here, HgOSC on the second carbon. Okay, there will be your HgOSC, and then OSC minus takes up the proton, and you get the first step, that is oxymercuration, wherein you are having bond with mercury and at the same time you are adding water to the double bond. So, this is your overall oxymercuration step. The attack of olefin on mercuric acetate, you get this intermediate carbonium ion, this becomes mercurium ion. Mercurium ion opens up with water, the acetate ion functions as a conjugate base, and then you get this Now this on treatment with borohydride gives you the product which is more substituted alcohol. The mercury is replaced by hydride, so that is your demercuration step. So this is oxymercuration, this is demercuration step. Okay, that you can show it with hydride attack, but borohydride is a hydride donor, right? Second reaction is the reaction of alkene with diborane. Now this is BH3, diborane is B2H6, the dimer of BH3. So initially you have to show the attack of BH bond across this. So I am just showing the boron hydrogen bond. So initially this comes here, this goes here, and what you have eventually is, now this is monoalkyl borane. Now monoalkyl borane which has got two more active BH bonds, so they will be added to two more alkenes, and eventually you will end up with trialkyl borane. So this is trialkyl borane. Now this trialkyl borane reacts further with H2O2 NaOH and you get the alcohol. The mechanism I am going to put it over here. I am going to put it. So we are having, say, trialkyl borane. I am putting all those alkyl groups here. This is your trialkyl borane, and H2O2 NaOH will produce this hydroperoxide ion, and what we have is going to be this one. Now this boron is having 4 bonds, so this will migrate and this will go off. So that is known as 1,2 migration, and what we'll have O CH2 CH3, then OH minus attacks here, this will go out as alcohol, and we have 1 OH here and 2 alkyl groups. 2 more steps are there. Again one more hydroperoxide ion attacks here. Again you will have the similar situation. One more alkyl group goes off. Again you will have OH, OCH2 CH3, again OH minus attacks here, this will go out, and you will have OH, OH, and one more step will end up with the formation of H3BO3 boric acid. So this is first step. You will have, you are replacing one alkyl group with OH. This is second step, wherein you are replacing second alkyl group with OH, and one more step will ultimately give this. So one molecule of this will release 3 molecules of primary alcohol. That is the meaning of it. I am showing it with the basic alkene. If you are having the substituted alkene, then boron always gets attached to the less substituted carbon. The regioselectivity would be there, and the less substituted alcohol will be the predominant product. Now next one is epoxidation. Now epoxidation, we are showing it with some alkene. I am just showing it with mechanism with some cyclic compound, so that mechanism part would be much easy to show, or I will just show it like this: O, C double bond O, and then metachloroperbenzoic acid. Now this is the metachloroperbenzoic acid molecule. Now what you can show is this is concerted reaction wherein oxygen is added across the double bond. So eventually you get the epoxide. It can be of alpha or beta geometry, and plus the peracid becomes simple acid. It is losing one oxygen. So this is undergoing reduction, this is undergoing oxidation. So it is a redox reaction, and from alkene you will end up with epoxide, and this is reduced to acid. Now if you treat it with H2O2, you will get your peracid back. So that is the method by which you can generate peracid. That is the conventional method. So if you take acid in methylene chloride, add H2O2, you will get peracid, and there you can add alkene in neutral organic solvent, and you can get epoxidation in quantitative yield. Now epoxides are vital intermediates, so they are useful in the synthetic organic chemistry. So epoxidation becomes a key reaction. The next reaction is ozonolysis reaction. So I will stick to the same aldehyde. First of all, the ozone molecule, it is a dipole, so it is 1,3 dipolar cycloaddition reaction and leading to the formation of molozonide. Now this is molozonide. Now this molozonide rearranges to ozonide in a small rearrangement reaction. So all these bonds are intact. This becomes double bond O minus, this becomes plus, and this becomes double bond O. So this comes here, this comes here, this goes here. So that is a small rearrangement, and you get the formation of ozonide. So this is ozonide, and if you go for the reductive workup with zinc water, you will end up with an aldehyde, the adipic aldehyde to be precise. If you treat it with H2O2 or peracids, then you will end up with adipic acid. So this is reductive workup, and the other one is oxidative workup. This is the product of oxidative workup. So ozonolysis is a classical reaction. The addition of ozone is generated from oxygen and electric discharge, and this is taken in neutral organic solvent. This is bubbled, and you get this eventually becomes ozonide. Depending upon workup, you will get the aldehyde. So depending upon the substitution pattern of alkene, different products can be obtained, and you can generalize the reaction with alkene. So monosubstituted alkene should give one aldehyde, one formaldehyde, and so on. I will just put one or two examples for the illustration of it. So if I start with this molecule, this is propene, and do ozonolysis and zinc water. So without writing any reaction mechanism, I can put two products. We have to show the cleavage of this bond. So this is oxidative cleavage. Both the carbons are getting oxygen. So this becomes aldehyde, the other one becomes formaldehyde. So acetaldehyde and formaldehyde are the product. On the contrary, if I start with this one, that is 2-methyl 1-propene or isobutylene, and then if I do this same reaction, I will end up with acetone and formaldehyde, and so on. So depending upon the substitution pattern, different oxidation products are obtained. The last reaction is addition of halohydrin. So first of all, we have to write down the formation of HOBr, HOX in general, and then put it across this. So BrOH plus delta minus delta, that is the dipole, and this goes off. Eventually it becomes bromonium ion, and the bromonium ion is open up with this, and you get bromohydrin as a product. The product has to be trans because the mode of addition is trans. So this is bromohydrin. So in next lecture we will see the further examples based on all these reactions.